Game Week 13 Premier League review. Let's get into it. Starting off on the South Coast, Brighton against Southampton. I cannot believe Brighton have done a Tottenham. First off was all Brighton. Mitoma missed a very good chance, capitalised off the Sugawara mistake. Rutea was fantastic. The Japanese winger did make up for it by putting Brighton in the lead. Against the run of play, Southampton equalised early in the second half, and then they had a goal disallowed, really harshly disallowed. Glyn Downs was very lucky not to get sent off after equalising. He was already on a yellow card, made a couple of fouls that probably should have earned him a second. Tyler Dibbling again, mesmerising with his dribbling. I think both Tottenham and Manchester City could do with someone like him right now, I can't lie, but I don't think he will leave in this window, at least if Southampton were to go down, which it looks like they will. He will probably be off next summer, but he looks like an unreal talent. But they've beaten Manchester City, they've beaten Tottenham, they've beaten Newcastle. These are teams we wouldn't expect them to beat. But they dropped points at home against Ipswich and Southampton and Wolverhampton Wanderers. They could actually be really close to Liverpool if they just didn't mess up in these games they should be winning. Brentford against Leicester, I did predict Leicester to win this, but that was because I thought Van Nistelrooy was going to take charge. Turns out Ben Dawson, who took charge this game, is even worse than Steve Cooper, because despite the fact that Leicester don't really have any good centre-backs, he decided to play three. He recalled Connor Cody, who hardly even played for him in the Championship, which, what are you doing, man? Brentford completely dominated the game. They realised how bad these Leicester defenders are, and they just kept going at them. You should not be starting either. He's much more effective off the bench. Facundo Buonanotte scoring the opener and then shushing the Brentford crowd was so nice to see. I love that boy so much, man. I can't wait to see what a player he's going to become, because he is a top talent. It's just such a shame that they got battered in the end. Kevin Schade, hat-trick and an assist. You couldn't ask for a much better performance from him, especially for someone that hadn't played in such a long time, who had struggled last season. A brilliant performance. Crystal Palace against Newcastle. This game really should have been won by a comfortable margin by Palace. Munoz missed a couple good chances. One of them was an open goal that absolutely anyone should be scoring. Mark Gahey forgot that he still does play in South London. He has not moved to Newcastle yet, at least. But yeah, this Newcastle performance was absolutely horrid. They did nothing going forward, had one shot, none on target in the whole game. Harvey Barnes came on quite early because of Isak's injury. If you're going to play him, he has to play on the left. There is no point bringing him on the right because you take away his biggest strength. Yeah, and Palace, like I said, deserved to win this, despite the fact that they equalised in the 94th minute and they might be happy with the point because of that. They could have won this by 4 goals on another day. Eddie Howe does have some questions to answer given this performance. Newcastle season have also been like Tottenham. They've won the games that you maybe wouldn't expect them to win, the likes of Arsenal playing really well against Man City, even Tottenham maybe you'd expect them to lose that. But then in these sorts of games where you'd expect them to win, they just haven't done it. And they've got Liverpool next, so we know they're going to win now. Nottingham Forest against Ipswich. This game sort of went how I expected it to go. Both Ola Aina and Sami Szmodics had to make goal line clearances for each team respectively early on in the game. And despite the heroics on the Republic of Ireland international, he then gave away a really stupid penalty. Chris Wood scored to become Nottingham Forest's joint top goal scorer in the Premier League era. Murillo almost scored again. It had been 2 goals in 2 home games for the star man. He is such a good player, man. And he was a rock at the back as well. Remember Milenkovic once again, just so solid at the back. Completely shouted Liam Delap, who's been one of the best strikers in the league this season. Wolves-Bournemouth, I was so close to bagging this, man. This is insane, man. 3 goals in the first 8 minutes of the game. Evan Nilsson and 3 penalties as well. All 3 of them were clear penalties. Unfortunately, he couldn't take any of them, but Clivert did score all of them. Becomes the first player in the Premier League era to score 3 penalties in a game. Bournemouth press was fantastic. 2 of the penalties were given because of the fact that they pressed high, forced Wolves into mistakes. The best Norwegian striker in the Premier League scored another 2 goals. West Ham Arsenal, I did predict a 3-goal Arsenal win, so I'm going to take credit for this prediction. Another great performance, and this is why I never counted Arsenal out of the title race, because when they are almost fully fit, I know Partey was out this game, but when they have the majority of the team back, they are so good to watch. They're the best team by far to watch in the league, in my opinion. They play such good football. Defensively, they're very solid. They can pick up the tempo whenever they need to as well. Bukayo Saka and Ødegaard, the way they combined for that second goal, man, that quick little pass over the top from Ødegaard was perfection. Bukayo Saka, what can I even say about him, man? World class. I don't care. He turns up in every single game. He is always excellent. Arsenal made it 4-0, and then West Ham got 2 goals back. 2 really nice goals as well, both fullback scoring. Wan-Bissaka for the 2nd game in a row. Is he turning back into a winger? Emerson's free kick was unreal as well, beautiful. And I just can't understand West Ham, because against Newcastle, they defended deep, or they defended perfectly. And then in this game, they were pushing up on the halfway line again. This is Arsenal. This is one of the deadliest attacks in the league. Why are you trying to push them high up the pitch when you make so many mistakes? Tillman, in particular, awful. You just can't trust Lopetegui because he decided to play Carlos Soler as a number 10, despite the fact that he is not a number 10. Paqueta did perfectly in that role, which is his role last game. So why are you letting Soler, who was clearly a 6, play there? It's stupid. Chelsea, Aston Villa, I got this one wrong. Chelsea, I'm going to have to hold my hands up, man. I really underestimated them. It was a phenomenal performance from them. Jackson, Palmer, Cucurella, Caicedo in particular, all fantastic. Cucurella, man, since the turn of the year, since he started playing as an inverted fullback, has been brilliant. Cole Palmer, what a goal from him as well. That strike, brilliant. Jackson's goal was really, really well taken as well. It could have been completely different though, because at 1-0, Watkins had a sitter and he hit it straight at Sanchez. He is like looking really off it this season, as is Morgan Rogers. And I know Jacob Ramsey's injury is a shame, but I don't know why John Duran hasn't been given a chance to start any games, considering the fact that he has looked good when he's come off the bench. I know he hasn't looked good for a little while, but start him, man. Watkins clearly needs a rest. And especially getting a game like this where Chelsea are fully rotated, they're at home, their press was relentless. We saw Newcastle last season crumble after European games because they didn't have the squad to rotate. I think Villa's squad is better because they've got more depth, but they're not using it enough in my opinion. Manchester United against Everton, 4-0. I did predict 1-0, and I don't think it was a 4-0 game. Even Amorim said the scoreline was not a fair reflection on the game. Especially because until it went 1-0, Everton were probably the better team. They created more chances. But both Branthwaite and Tarkowski made some horrible errors that led to Manchester United goals. Amad Diallo, though, by far Man United's best attacker. What the hell was Ten Hag doing putting him on the bench, man? Anyone who felt sorry for him for getting sacked, yeah? Just look at this, man. He was making this guy hold the bench for Garnacho, fam. Do you know what I mean? What the hell? He's got absolutely no one to blame but himself for his own sacking, because Diallo's playing that wing back right now, by the way. He is not a wing back, and he is shining in that position. He reminds me a lot of Saka the way he plays. He'll help defensively when he needs to, but he's so unselfish. He beats everyone 1v1, always makes the right decisions. He's not quite as quick as Saka. I don't think he's quite as strong either. Physically, he's not like him, but in terms of the way he plays, it's not too dissimilar. Zirkzee and Rashford both got braces as well, both needed that considering the seasons they've had. The game wasn't quite as one-sided as the scoreline suggests, but Manchester United, unlike under Ten Hag, were much more clinical in this game, and they also pressed really, really well. Tottenham against Fulham. I don't even have any words for Tottenham anymore. Fulham were the better team. They created much more opportunities, although Tottenham did have some of their own. Son missed a sitter early on, Maddison at the post. Jimenez had a couple really good chances that were brilliantly saved by Forster. He had to make a couple of mad saves. And you could definitely tell this Fulham squad is half ex-Arsenal, man, because they played their hearts out. The second game running, Werner assisted Johnson before Tom Kearney equalised and then got himself sent off. It was a clear red card as well. I don't know how the referee missed it when he was right there originally. But even after the red card, Fulham were the ones that nearly won it, and it's just really poor from Spurs. And I know they're going through a really bad injury crisis, but I don't know why Porro and Udogie are starting every game when Jed Spence is on the bench, and he looked really good in pre-season when he came to Loftus Road at least. He looked much better than Porro. And finally, Liverpool against Manchester City. I did again predict a 2-goal Liverpool win, so I'll take this. That first half, man, wow, Liverpool were all over Man City. The goal was really nice, well, brilliant play from Salah. There should have been so much more because Van Dijk had multiple good chances from headers as well. Like, he hit the post, but he should have done better with a couple others. Alexander-Arnold had a couple as well that he should have done better with. They were from distance, but he had a lot of space. Gravenberch completely dominated the midfield. Manchester City had no attack until Jeremy Doku came on. He was the only one that looked like he wanted to inject something into the game. Unfortunately, there wasn't enough plays in the box, and he did make the wrong decision a couple of times. But there is what Manchester City have been missing, you know, someone that actually drives that defence, tries to create something. Because Phil Foden isn't that guy. Matheus Nunes is a central midfielder who's been playing on the wing for some reason. And Bernardo Silva, again, isn't really a chance creator. Kevin De Bruyne came on, but it was already 2-0 by that point. However, he did miss a sitter that he absolutely had to score. It could have got Man City back in the game. It could have ended level at that point. Who knows? But Kelleher really wasn't challenged enough. Erling Haaland didn't have a clear sight at goal. It was very well handled by Van Dijk and Joe Gomez, who had a really underrated game. That's what I thought of the game. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. I'll see you soon for another video.